Namwamba will be remembered for initiating the Sports Act and spearheading the Talanta Ha program. The 49-year-old constitutional lawyer also kick-started an important infrastructure development phase in Kenya. Our reporter Tony Kwalanda takes us through his success stories and the challenges he faced while at Talanta Plaza headquarters.
Ababu Namwamba is celebrating his 49th birthday this month, and he will be satisfied by the 3 cumulative years he spent in the sports ministry as cabinet secretary. The international human rights and constitutional lawyer was the head of the country's sports docket in 2 regimes, under President William Ruto and under former president, the late Mwai Kibaki.
Every situation, every circumstance is unique. It has its own peculiarities. You would say that on both occasions, the time I had in office was perhaps not long enough to see the fruition of some of the measures you put in place. During my time in the Kibaki administration, for instance, I joined cabinet towards the tail end of the life of the coalition government. But I still had the opportunity to do some phenomenal things. And what comes to mind and what I'm most proud of is that I was able to get the Sports Act enacted.
The former Budalangi member of parliament worked under the Ruto administration from 2022 to 2024 after being in the same position from 2012 to 2013 under the Kibaki Grand Coalition government.
I mean, it's just a journey. And the journey of life has its moments. It can give you a moment to sit in a public office. It can give you a moment to sit in a private office. It can give you a moment to chill out in your private space. So it's all about taking everything in your stride and enjoying each of those moments along the journey of life. And I have mastered that. I also have the gift of goodbye.
The former Secretary General of Orange Democratic Party succeeded Dr. Paul Otuoma in 2012 before Ambassador Hassan Orio took over from 2013 to 2018. The family man replaced Ambassador Amina Mohammed in 2022 before Onesmus Kipchumba Murkomen came calling in 2024.
Murkomen is such a fantastic friend, a colleague and a comrade, many respects. We even went to the same college for our postgraduate studies. So we are actually college mates. We did our master's degrees in law at the same school. So we have a long history together. If you had asked me to choose a successor among my colleagues in cabinet, I wouldn't have gone beyond Murkomen. I certainly would have picked Murkomen because I know his passion for sports. He's a sports person himself. He has tried to break my record at Bunge FC. I was the top. I still hold the record of the highest number of goals scored for Bunge FC. Murkomen came close, but not quite.
The former Foreign Affairs Chief Administrative Secretary between 2018 and 2022 is a die-hard supporter of Arsenal Football Club in the English Premier League and AFC Leopards in Kenya's top flight league.
Murkomen is number one, a good fit for the ministry, no doubt in my mind whatsoever. And secondly, he has plugged into the momentum we have already built. And he can only now take it to the next level. And he has my total, unequivocal support in that respect. We consult a lot. We exchange ideas. If he needs my input in anything, I offer that without reservation.
Kenya was undergoing a challenging phase in the second half of 2022, and Namwamba was at the center of critical global negotiations in football, athletics, and swimming.
In a record 1 month, we were able to sort of take charge of that space. I met Mr. Gianni Infantino, the president of FIFA. and we were able to unlock the suspension on FIFA, bring back football. I engaged Lord Sebastian Coe, the president of the IFC, and even invited him to Kenya. He came to Kenya in January 2023. I arranged for him to meet President Ruto. We held very good meetings, and we struck a deal that saved Kenya from athletics being suspended or banned. And you know, athletics is really the bread and butter of Kenya's sporting heritage internationally. So if athletics had been banned, we wouldn't even have been at the Olympics this season, this Olympic season. We also engaged World Aquatics and got the suspension of Swimming Federation. And the swimming sport in this country had been in limbo for 7 years. We got that lifted, and we were able to get our swimmers to Paris.
This formed the basis of his next agenda, streamlining sports federations, which are still a hard nut to crack.
Sports is a space of shared responsibility.
Okay.
Collective responsibility. And it is so important for the public to understand who bears what responsibility.
Okay.
Government is a policymaker. Government oversights, and government is a facilitator. But the actor, the frontline actor in sports, is the respective sporting federations. If you take the Olympics, we've just come back from the Olympics. The agency, front, center, back, sideways that is responsible for the Olympics is the National Olympics Committee of Kenya.
Okay.
President Paul Targat, Secretary General Francis Mutuku, those are the people who manage the Olympic space.
Okay.
They set the timetable, they prepare the team, they do the logistics, make sure hotels are booked, flights are done, okay, athletes are prepared, and everybody is ready for competition.
Okay.
So whenever, and even the kit, make sure the kit is prepared, okay, the kit is delivered. Even when it comes to sponsorship, like you must have noticed that the Team Kenya kit is a Nike kit. It's because the National Olympics Committee has a deal with Nike. So if you say you've noticed shoes that are not of the right quality for Team Kenya, the National Olympics Committee must tell you under the Nike deal, because it's them who signed the deal. Government has no role.
The success or failure of sports in Kenya falls squarely at the feet of federations. However, the sports ministry has been caught in the crossfire.
And because these international federations are very protective of their affiliates, they have something, they have a rungu they normally call government interference. Yeah. That's how Kenya was banned by FIFA. When Amina said, there seems to be a problem here with the FKF. Let us sort out a few things. What did FIFA do? FIFA did not bembelezana with Amina. No, they banned Kenya. That's how they do it. And because these local federations know that, they engage in a lot of impunity. They do a lot of actions. They know we will mess up with Team Kenya ceremonial kit. No one will come for Paul Targat. No one will come for Francis Mutuku. Everybody will go for Ababu Namwamba. Because in the Kenyan psyche, Kenyans believe it must be Ababu who bought this uniform.
The National Olympic Committee of Kenya, NOC, was the first to face the wrath of terror.
In a bid to cut costs for our Olympics team, I negotiated with Kenya Airways a special ticket rate. And I approached Alan Kilavuka, the CEO of KQ. I told him, Alan, we are taking Team Kenya to Paris. Why doesn't KQ become our flight partner for Team Kenya? Even brand a couple of aircraft in Team Kenya colors. Then offer subsidized tickets to Team Kenya. Okay? Alan accepted. He even wrote back to me because I formally wrote to him as minister. He wrote back to me, he made an offer, okay? But after we gave the resources to the responsible body, they decided they're not interested in that deal. And I kept on asking them, guys, why are you not taking this deal? Why don't you want to partner? Oh, KQ, they might delay us. Oh, there might be this and that. So when a federation makes that call, the minister cannot take a rungu and tell them, guys, if you don't fly KQ, you are not going to Paris. No. They will tell you, but we have the mandate to prepare Team Kenya. And they told me, they told me, Waziri, you know, if we fly KQ and this flight delays somewhere and or our athletes arrive at JKIA and KQ announces a delay in the departure and the athletes are at the airport for 8 hours, you know, Waziri, is going to be messy and you are the one who is going to be under fire. So just let us handle it and find the right kind of flight. So today I want Kenyans to know that federations carry a lot of responsibility. And because they know Kenyans are obsessed with government, Kenyans only hold government responsible. They don't hold any other person responsible.
NOC was also caught in the complex web of the national kit for the Paris Olympics team.
We wanted Team Kenya to have a ceremonial kit that reflected the spirit of Kenya. So we asked NOC to run a national competition. As government, we committed some resources. We gave them resources. We gave NOC some resources to run a national competition for fashion designers to dress Team Kenya. They ran a competition. They picked what they believed to be the best designs. And the team they put together to run that process for them is a team which I believe to be competent. It was led by people like Connie Alwatch, okay? People who really, as far as the fashion design space is concerned, they have made a name. They know their thing. So after these designs came out, they actually came to present them to us. What you call renders, the designs. So we looked at the designs, we had some reservations here, we made our input, they went back, we told them after you completed the adjustments, then do the production. Now they took forever to do the production. On the other hand, they were insisting, please ask the president to flag us off. So when I asked the president gave them a date of July 5. I told them the president is ready to flag you off. The day the president was flagging them off, because I told them, that kit you have produced, it would be amazing for the president to wear it as the head of state and as the country's diplomat number one. Okay? So I told them, I want to see it before we take it to the president. So they delivered something to me. They actually delivered 2 pieces. They told me, hii ni ya rais na hii ni yako waziri. I took one look at that stuff. And I told them, nah. Mr. Francis Mutuku, the Secretary General of NOC, he should come here actually so that he can explain.
He approved it himself.
I mean, it is a NOC process.
Okay.
So I looked at that stuff and I said, no. The quality of the fabric, the production, the
outlook.
I told him no.
Yeah.
I told him no. This Haitoshi Mboga. In fact, I told him, Kenyans will roast you for this. I mean, little did I know that actually the roasting will be Ababu's. So he said, you know, Waziri, this thing has been done in a hurry. I told him, hurry or no hurry, we must get it right. Okay. And by the way, they can sit on this couch and corroborate what I'm telling you. I told them this cannot go public. Surprise them. And I even told them, don't you guys have the Nike kit? For the flagging off by the president, ask your team to wear the Nike kit. Hizi zingine, rudisheni kwa fundi. So I told them, please return to sender.
Yeah.
Shock of shocks. Tuko State House, tuko Ikulu. Sinimi sasa ile, the athletes are walking in. And I could see, I say, oh, it's good. The athletes walked in the Nike kit. Okay, that honeycomb the honeycomb kit.
So far, everything is
Everything
okay.
is good. I say, oh, these guys have listened to me. Hizo vitu zimerudi kwa fundi. Shock of shocks. In the middle of the event, I see athletes walk to the front. You know, I held my hand. You know, I was sitting next to the Kirinyaga governor, who is also the chair of the Council of Governors, Anu Waiguru.
Yeah.
And told me, Waziri, what is this? And he said, Mayo, what is this goodness? These guys actually went ahead and released those things. And now, a beautiful ceremony that was supposed to be like the highlight of Team Kenya flag off was then reduced to a conversation about these half-baked products which we had rejected.
Okay.
Long story short is that I was very upset.
What did the president say?
Of course, I explained to the president the situation. Obviously, he was not impressed. I invited them to dinner immediately after that ceremony at State House. I took the whole team to dinner at the Marriott. At my cost, by the way, it was not at the public's cost.
Okay. Kenya Volleyball Federation had its fair share of theatrics for the cabinet secretary.
The Kenya Volleyball Federation did a very silly thing the other day. Kenya has had a long-running agreement with the World Volleyball Federation where they give technical support. They give a grant, they give coaches, and Malkia Strikers has always had a Brazilian coach under that arrangement. Dudes sit down, decide, we want to cancel this arrangement. And why do they want to cancel the arrangement? Because they want to appoint themselves to be the ones to manage the team, because the Olympics is in town. People must go to Paris, okay? And show up and feel good and have fun. So they cancel the deal. The president of the federation appoints himself the team manager. That in the wake of that, I wrote to all federations to tell them there must be separation of responsibilities. You cannot lead a federation and again manage the team.
The recent change of guard at the Football Kenya Federation is a box ticked by Namwamba.
I demanded elections for FKF. I demanded elections for Athletics Kenya. I demanded elections for every federation. But what do? The moment elections are called, they sponsor someone to go to court and they secure an injunction. AK today is injuncted, it cannot hold elections. And the last time they held elections was during the reign of the former president of AK, the late Isaiah Kiplagat. Those elections happened while I was minister in the Kibaki administration 11 years ago. Oh, wow. So you have people who have been in office and they just have no intention. They have no plan. They have no desire to live off better. The other day I was talking to FKF, my people at FKF, and I was telling them, guys, under the Sports Act, you can't do more than 2 terms. You guys have already done your 2 terms. What is your succession plan? you know. And Waziri, if you come too hard, FIFA will ban Kenya, you know? Government interference.
Oh, wow.
FIFA will ban. In fact, FIFA has said, if you push this thing too much, we might just be banned again.
As sports federations continued to fill up his entry, the holder of a master's degree in international law had another obligation of spearheading the Talanta Ha program.
The program I have explained with football is a program run by the Kenya Academy of Sports.
Okay.
It has scouts who go around the country to identify talents. It has coaches who coach the identified talents.
Okay.
It even has a digital platform called Talanta Online, where if you are in Lodwar or in Lokitown and you want your talent to be seen and you cannot physically travel to Nairobi for a trial, you can take a 1-minute, 3-minute clip of yourself, post it onto Talanta Online, and someone seated at the Kenya Academy of Sports can be able to do a virtual audition for you.
Okay.
So it is an ecosystem. It's a
Okay.
whole ecosystem of coaches, of scouts, of trainers, of centers, of digital platforms. It's a whole ecosystem.
The captain of the national under-20 football team, Amos Wanjala, and Aldrin Kibet are products of the Talanta Ha program.
You remember the last year, Kenya lost our co-status in the HSBC Rugby 7 series.
Okay.
This year we bounced right back. How did we bounce right back? I sat down the rugby union and told them the reason why Kenya lost their status in the HSBC series is that you forgot that sports is time bound. And the shelf life of athletes is very short, very limited. So when people like Aimba, Humphrey Kayange, and that ilk retired, there was no successor. So I told them, you'll make use of this Talanta Ha pipeline to create a continuous pipeline of rugby talents. I even took them to schools. I took Sasha Mutai, president of the Kenya Rugby Union, to Koyonzo Boys in Kakamega, who had just won the national rugby championship. I took them to Butler Boys, who had won the 15s championship. Koyonzo won the 7s, Butler won the 15s. And I told him, Chief, we must form a new rugby 7s team. But not just to get back to the HSBC series, to establish a pipeline where these kids in schools and colleges and community clubs and all this whole ecosystem can continuously feed the national teams. And I sat in Madrid at the Wanda Metropolitano Stadium myself to witness those kids, people like Patrick Odongo, who nobody knew. Everybody was like, where did this boy come from? Where did Patrick Odongo come from? The pipeline. Picking them raw, nurturing them, and unleashing them on an unsuspecting world. And within 1 year, Kenya bounced right back into the HSBC World Series with players nobody had ever seen.
It is during this period that sportsmen and women received enhanced reward schemes, besides formulating a policy on recognition and honoring of athletes and players.
Talanta Ha is not just about identifying talents and nurturing them. It is about turning those talents into money. You saw the other day, we introduced changes. Number one, if you break a world record. When Faith broke her first world record, Faith Kipyegon, last year, she arrived here, 5 million shillings, 3-bedroom house, never seen before. We raised the scale of rewards to our world beaters because we have treated them poorly before. So for the first time ever, you can go at a world record aware that I break this world record, 5 million is in the bank, and a 3-bedroom house is ready for me. We did that with Faith Kipyegon, okay? We also revised, in fact, the entire reward scheme. I completely turned it upside down. Previously, you won an Olympics medal, and you got home and you were given 750,000 Kenya shillings. I tripled that. Actually, we raised that also to 5 million, okay? We raised the reward for silver medal. We raised the reward for bronze medal. We revised the rewards for participation so that even when you're in Kenya, you are training to go for the competition and you are out of the country and participating in the competition. Previously, you'll be paid like, I think it was $75. We raised that to $300 per day while you are in competition. That is an allowance per day to cover your training period.
Infrastructure development has been a thorn in the flesh for successive governments. However, there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
We put in place an infrastructure master plan, which is really revolutionary, that even categorized what should be the standard of an international stadium, what should be the standard of a regional or county level stadium, and what should be the standard of what you're calling community grounds that people can use at that local level. And for to demonstrate what an international stadium is.
Okay.
I spent time myself with a technical team to design the Talanta Sports City. It is a football-only stadium, the only one of its kind in this region. And in this region, I mean the Eastern Central Africa region. It is a 60,000 capacity seater, green stadium, all the modern, all the high-tech, all the tech-savvy capabilities are built in that stadium. I can't wait to see that stadium completed because it's going to take Kenya's sporting infrastructure to another level and set the standard.
Kenya is preparing to co-host the 2024 Africa Nations Championships CHAN, which will serve as a dress rehearsal for the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations to be staged in Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania.
It was a top priority for me. I know it's a top priority for my successor, Murkomen. It's a priority for the president. It's a national priority. We must make it happen.
Namwamba believes he's set up a springboard, which is currently propelling his successor to the next level. Tony Kwalanda, TV 47 Sports.